Kayla from Planning with Kay, and I've been bullet journaling for 7 years. Bullet journaling is where you take a blank notebook, just like this one here, and turn it into your custom, all-inclusive planner, notebook, diary, sketchbook, whatever you want it to be. This is my 18th completed bullet journal. This has lasted me from January to May of this year, 2024, and I'm ready to flip through it for you all and show you every completed, finished spread in my 18th bullet journal. So let's jump right in. This notebook, by the way, is from Tong Planners. I just love this butterfly wraparound cover. So unique, so beautiful. I'll have that linked in the description below, as well as all the other supplies that I use throughout this bullet journal. So we start off this bullet journal with a bang with a 2024 cover spread. When I set up this journal, I really wanted to go all out with a rainbow sticker collage. So all of these stickers are stickers from my own sticker shop, and they're ones that I had in my personal sticker collection of partially used sheets. So I keep those sheets stacked around, and they're perfect for sticker collages. I decided to do a rainbow gradient going from corner to corner. So red stickers went here, orange, yellow, green, blue, purple, etc. But absolutely love this sticker collage cover spread. So after this cover spread, we have all of my start of bullet journal spreads. Sometimes I call these migration spreads. Sometimes I call them my core spreads. And I have a little bit of a mixed, relationship with my beginning of bullet journal spreads. Some of them always end up getting kind of forgotten about and neglected. I did keep up with some of these spreads, as you'll see, but we have my year at a glance at first. I used my botanical Bujo sticker collection for this setup and love how it turned out. I then have a future log with this Dutch door setup. I didn't end up writing too much down in my future log, just some major upcoming events like Go Wild, the day we were moving, some weddings coming up, but I don't use this too extensively. After my future log, we have some goal pages. I didn't end up really using these too much. I did write down some business goals here that I have been doing well on this year. But again, these are kind of the spreads that I set up with good intentions at the beginning of the year, but they don't always end up being something I come back to. I have a wish list and a bill schedule. Similarly, I haven't really been coming back to these spreads too much. When I go to set up my new bullet journal, I have a different idea of the spreads that I want to set up at the start. So I'm going to be taking all of this into account when it comes to setting up my next journal. I'm never hard on myself if I don't use spreads I set up. Bullet journaling is all sort of like an experiment each month or each journal. You're, trying new things and seeing what works. So it's just a good note to take for next time. I then have my reading tracker. I actually got out of my audiobook kick in January just because life got really crazy around February, because that's when we decided we were going to move from Portland, Oregon down to Sarasota, Florida. So February really through May has been kind of crazy, and I haven't been listening to my audiobooks or reading any books. So I love this tracker, but didn't end up using it. All right, then we've got my movies watched and my shows watched pages. I kept up with these for a little while. I haven't really updated these maybe in the last month or two since we actually moved, but I do love keeping track of shows and movies. I think maybe I would prefer it on a monthly basis instead of this big list at the beginning of my journal. Or I've even been considering maybe starting a long-term collections journal that's actually separate for things like this, but we'll see. I then have this spread that I actually did keep up with because I love this spread, which is where I keep track of the stickers I design every month. And these are the stickers that are sent out to my Patreon subscribers before they become available in my sticker shop. And then over here, I kept track of the actual themes I used in my journal every month. So the stickers I've designed so far this year is my Coral Reef collection, my Ramen and Sushi collection, the March Home Sweet Home collection, and then last month I created this Book Nook collection that is actually this month's Patreon rewards. So if you want to receive this like book and plant and like cozy bookish related theme, that is May's Patreon sticker rewards, and you can sign up anytime in May to automatically be mailed the sticker collection. So after that, I have a yearly tracker. I originally was going to use this as a habit tracker, but I decided to turn it into a period tracker. I have an app that I use to keep track of my period, but I also do really love having something in my bullet journal to reference. So this has been working out. I then have a kind of longer term gratitude log here, which I've been coming back to maybe once a month to update. So I have a few things on there, again, kind of like main big events that have happened in the last 5 months. After that, we have a spread for sticker ideas and video ideas. That is then the end of my like long-term spreads. So I have a couple blank spreads here I kept just in case I needed to set anything else up there. But then that gets right into all of my monthly, weekly, and daily pages. So this is where I really do the majority of my bullet journaling. And I like to do a different theme every month. So for January, I used my New Year's / celebration sticker collection to do this like classy party theme. And I used some black paper as well. I love how this setup turned out. Every single one of these setups does have a Plan With Me video up on my YouTube channel. So if you want to see the process of how I created any of these spreads, you can always go and watch the specific videos associated with each, and I'll try to link those up in the cards when I can. I use a lot of my Patreon printables in my bullet journal, so any of these like full pages here that you see are printable pages that you can download from my $5 Patreon tier, but I love using those. They just make things so easy. Got some daily logs. My bullet journal has been working really well for me this year. When I came into 2024, I was going through sort of a little like down tick in my mental health, and that always is kind of tied hand in hand with how much I use my bullet journal. Coming into the new year, I had a very clear intention of wanting to use my bullet journal more to help me kind of get out of the like winter seasonal depression that in Portland just like overtakes by the time you get to like December and January. It's rough in the winter. So I put a lot of intention into my bullet journal, and I can see in these first couple months here that really paying off. I'm really using my bullet journal a ton in these months, especially January through March, and it really, really helped me. So February here, I'm using my Secret Garden theme. This is one of my favorite setups in this journal. I just love how this theme turned out. And I tried out this new page this month, this tasks and deadlines page, where I basically gave my each week like 4 main tasks to focus on. And this worked really well. I've done this every single month since then. I've got some memories, self-care bingo, again, using some printables from Patreon. Yeah, I love this setup, and it really got me super passionate about my bullet journaling again. Again, I just really got into a groove with it, and when my bullet journal and I are friends, my life goes so much smoother and everything is so much easier. So looking at these spreads makes me really happy. I feel like this was kind of a turning point for me. And I think that's also because in February is when my husband and I decided to move to Florida. And a huge piece of that was the weather in Portland. We've lived in Portland for 6 or 7 years, and it just starts to take a toll on you, especially when you're not used to the like super gray, cold winters. So in February, everything sort of lined up and we decided that we were finally going to be able to do this move we've been talking about for years. And we finally moved in April. And I think that's why I also have a lot of like positive feelings associated with this February setup. So we get into my weekly spreads. I loved all of these layouts. You can see, again, these pages are very well loved. I'm really using all of these spreads. I'm using daily logs. We have a blank spread here, who knows why. We've got some more like memory keeping pages here. And there's also this other sticker collage, which is always a fun way to just like fill a random page in your journal. And that takes us into March. For March, I used this sticker bundle right here that was kind of like an ultimate spring-inspired theme. I combined a few of my sticker collections together. So I used my scrapbook collection, my rainbow butterflies, my watercolor collection, and I think also my birds and the bees collection with the hummingbirds. And again, just so in love with this setup. I've been having a lot of fun playing around with the stickers I create. I create all of the artwork for all of these stickers that you're seeing, and I've been creating new collections for going on more than 6 years now. So it's been really fun kind of revisiting older sticker collections and mixing them with the newer ones I've created. It's just been really fun kind of like breathing new life into these different sticker collections I've created throughout the years, because I almost kind of forget about some of the older things I've made. I so quickly am just on to the next one. So it's been really, really fun revisiting some older themes. And I love this entire March setup. I love all of these monthly spreads. I've been kind of experimenting with different habit tracker styles recently. So I tried a monthly circular tracker here, which you can see I kind of stopped using about, 2/3 way through the month. I still haven't found like the perfect tracking system for me, but I think also maybe with habit tracking, it just works better for me to kind of come back to it and stop it every now and then. I find it a little bit repetitive and a little bit overwhelming. So I like to come back to habit tracking for more specific goals and purposes. I have all sorts of videos with habit tracker ideas, so you can see kind of me playing around with weekly habit trackers. Continuing throughout the month of March, we've got daily logs, weekly logs. Here we have a spread with some moving notes. This is when I did a full week of only daily logs. I filmed a whole video setting all of these up and talking about this little experiment. And I actually really like these daily logs. I was missing having some sort of like weekly overview. So it was a little bit of a success and a little bit of a fail. I love daily logs, but yeah, I still wished that I had like a weekly dashboard or something like that. I do all of my brainstorming here in my journal for my YouTube videos. So you'll see some kind of sketched ideas of spreads I ended up setting up. Here is more of like a journal page where I'm kind of just giving a little bit of a life update. I do a lot of planning in my bullet journal, but sometimes I also like to do just some normal writing and journaling, a little bit more like a diary entry. This is my Home Sweet Home sticker collection. This was sent out to last month's sticker Patreon subscribers, but it will be up in my shop, I think next week. All right, and that brings us to April. I think this is my favorite theme in this journal, setup-wise, and that is my rainforest-themed April spreads. I used this full spread printable from Patreon with the two big cats and the tropical birds on top. Man, I just love the green colors in this theme. It is so much fun. Here we have a Dutch Door monthly spread, and April 6th is when I moved to Florida. So as always, I feel like when I move, I think when anybody moves, things are a little bit like out of sorts for a little while. So you can kind of see in my bullet journal, it's a little bit more sporadic. There's some periods of time where I wasn't using my bullet journal because I was just full blown in moving mode, unpacking, packing, traveling, because we moved on the 6th, and then a week or so later, I went to Texas for a week for the Go Wild Planner Conference, so that was a whole thing. And then at the beginning of May, we basically kind of did a second move into the house that we're actually living in long term now. But yeah, so all of the moving and traveling in April through into May as well makes for a little bit less consistent time in my bullet journal. So again, you'll kind of see that in here. There's certain spreads that I stopped using halfway through the month, like this monthly to-do list and memories page. I then have my live stream page for the month, which is always useful. Here I set up this really awesome finance page that I loved the idea of, but I just did not have any brain space in April to do any bullet journaling about my finances. So this went unused, but I really want to bring this back because I do want to get into a habit of just double checking my finances in my journal, kind of creating some summaries for myself. I do keep track of my finances through QuickBooks and, through my online banking, but I like the idea of kind of having another deliberate time to just look at all of those numbers each week. So hopefully I can come back to something like this. I've got my daily review that I kind of stopped using in the last week of April. We've got a habit tracker, and again, monthly habit tracking is kind of hit or miss for me. It was more miss in April. This was a self-care bingo card that I was just filling in throughout the month as I did different self-care items for myself. Stopped coming to this though about mid-month. We've got my brain dump. I do still plan on filling out this Go Wild Memories page. I still am going to be in this notebook for just the rest of this month. So before I put this finished notebook on the shelf, I'll come back to pages like this and paste in photos. So that way I can just kind of print all my photos at once and then go through my notebook, pasting in any last photo memories. Here we have my April weeklies. I absolutely loved this vertical weekly style here. Here is this weekly spread using one of my Patreon printables again, where I customized it a lot with the header at the top and the trackers along the right. Absolutely love both of these vertical style weeklies. They really helped me to keep my brain intact throughout the moving process. So here's when we moved, and then this is the week after we moved. So even though I wasn't using my monthly spreads too much during this time, I was using my weekly spreads. I was really keeping track of my daily to-do lists. So I didn't totally abandon my bullet journal at all during all of this. I was just more picky and choosy about what spreads I was using because I didn't have a ton of time in the day to dedicate to my journaling. So I would basically just have this spread open on the table with my weeklies and just to keep track of my to-do lists and appointments and live streams and stuff like that. So as April continues, there's some spreads I didn't end up using. This was again a busy week in our moving plans. After that, I have my Go Wild travel spreads. These I set up in a video with 5 awesome essential travel spreads. I loved these spreads for my whole trip. We've got some functional spreads, some memory keeping spreads, but definitely loved using those. How cool is this little pocket sticker? This is from Lights Planner Action. She did a little workshop at Go Wild and she gave these little sticker pockets that you can like put into your bullet journal. And I filled it with all of the contact cards and stuff that I got at Go Wild. I thought that was so fun. So that's a little pocket in there. And finally, that takes me to my current month spreads. I just posted my May Plan With Me video, so you might have seen these recently. I am still going to be using this journal through the rest of May, so I'm filming this flip through just like a couple weeks early. I am planning on going in and still filling some of these spreads more. May has already been so hectic in these last 10 days because we made our final move at the beginning of May, like into our final house that we're living in long term now. So like these memory and gratitude pages, I do plan on going back through these and filling them out, but for now they still are looking a little bit bare. We've got my live streams, my monthly overview, a brain dump for the month. And then that takes me into my weekly spreads. You can see we signed our new lease on the 1st. Very exciting. But yeah, I love this printable weekly. And this is the current week. So we moved on the 6th, into this house. So that's why I didn't really use my journal the first half of the week. And now I'm using again in the back half. So you can see I've been very flexible with my journal throughout this whole moving process. Whenever you're going through like big life changes, it's okay for the certain habits in your life to fall into different priority levels. It's kind of like, if you're in the middle of moving, maybe your workout schedule changes for a little bit, or maybe you have a little bit less time to do some of your, favorite hobbies. It just happens. And whenever I'm moving, my bullet journal tends to kind of fall down my priority list. But honestly, I've been really proud of myself for still using my bullet journal throughout all these crazy busy times. I'm just, again, kind of more picky and choosy about what spreads I really use daily. But this takes me to the end of this bullet journal. I, again, am going to keep using this journal through the rest of May, so I'll have 2 more weekly spreads to finish this off. I'm going to be setting these up during some live streams. I have a sticker design live stream tomorrow on Sunday, the 12th at 1 p.m. Eastern time, in case you want to join that. And then the following Sunday, I think that's going to be a bullet journal weekly spread setup live stream. So if you want to hang out with me while I do some bullet journaling, I'll see you either this Sunday and or next Sunday. But yeah, 2 more weekly spreads that I'll set up to get me through May. And then that is it for this bullet journal. I just have some scrap pages in the back here. This is always where I do like my pen tests and things like that. And then once May is over, I will put this on the shelf as my 18th completed bullet journal. It's always such a fun time in the bullet journal process to finish one notebook and move on to a brand new one. It's kind of like you get that fresh new year feeling multiple times a year if you're like me and your journals don't last you a whole year. So this one lasted 5 months, and now this is going to be my 19th bullet journal. This is a doc grid notebook from Shop Amanda Rachley. I was fortunate enough to get to meet Amanda at the Go Wild Planner Conference, and I had to get a swirl notebook from her booth to use for my next bullet journal. So I'm going to be using this gorgeous, dusty, greenish yellow swirl dot grid notebook. And of course, I'm going to share the process with you guys of setting this up as my new bullet journal. So probably towards the end of May or beginning of June, we will have not only a June plan with me in this new bullet journal, but I'm also going to post a video with the core spreads that I'll be setting up at the beginning of this notebook. So yeah, I'm very excited to move in to my next bullet journal and say goodbye to bullet journal number 18. If you liked any of the stickers that I used throughout this bullet journal, I do have all of them available in my sticker shop, PlanningWithKay.com, and I've also listed a sticker bundle that includes all of my favorite themes from this bullet journal. So if you want to check out any of those stickers, you can find the link to my sticker shop in the description down below. It's PlanningWithKay.com. And if you're watching this video, you can also use the coupon code STICKERFAM for 15% off your sticker order. Again, that's PlanningWithKay.com, linked in the description down below. And thank you guys so much for watching this bullet journal flip through. If you liked it, make sure to give the video a like, subscribe down below for more bullet journaling videos every single weekend, and make sure you click the notification bell so you're notified the next time I post a video. I hope I'll see you during my live stream right here on my YouTube channel tomorrow, Sunday at 1 p.m. Eastern Time. Don't forget that the links to my sticker shop and my Patreon sticker subscription and printable download library are down in the description down below, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye.